Donald Trump, again, has blinked when it comes to tariffs, the trade war, and the economy. So let's go through it. Trump had insisted a couple of things. A couple weeks ago, he put in reciprocal tariffs on basically all the U.S. trading partners and said, these things are going to stay in place. I'm absolutely committed to this. This is what we need to do. A week after that Liberation Day, as he called it, he paused almost all of those tariffs. And he made very clear that he was ready to make deals. Now, those deals haven't been announced yet, but the tariffs came way down because the stock market reacted really, really badly to the tariffs. It went way, way down. And Donald Trump, I think, realized he had kind of argued himself into a little bit of a political cul-de-sac, that he didn't really have a great way out if he kept pushing these major onerous tariffs. Things were going to get worse, not better, with the American economy. And so he blinked. Well, he has blinked again. So on Tuesday, two important things happened. Number one, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent came out and in a private speech that was immediately, and I would say purposely, leaked, came out and said, these tariffs with China, this trade war with China, we're going to work this out. It's going to get better. It's not going to stay like this, and it's not going to stay like this for very long. We're going to work out a deal. Just in case you thought that was by chance, it wasn't. Donald Trump then, at a press availability, said, look, President Xi Jinping, the head of China, and I are very good friends, and we are going to find a way to get through this. The tariffs are too high right now, and things are going to get better. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is that Donald Trump on Tuesday said, no, I'm not going to fire Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve. Why would I do that? I was never going to do that. The media is saying I would do that, but I would never do that. Now, he, of course, said a week ago on Truth Social that Powell should be terminated as soon as possible. And then when asked about that, he said, Powell will leave and it will happen fast if I want him to. So that's why the media reported on it, because you said that you might do it. But the point is, it's never, as I've said before, it's never quite clear to me whether he could legally fire Powell. But what happened was the markets reacted really, really poorly, and were reacting really, really poorly on Tuesday to his continued push about the possibility of getting rid of Powell. As soon as he said, we're not firing Powell, and he said China tariffs are a possibility, started to go up. So it's the markets. And the other thing that happened, and this is important, Axios reported that on Monday, the CEOs of Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, three gigantic big box stores, were at the Oval Office and warned Donald Trump that the tariffs and trade policy could disrupt supply chains and raise prices for the average consumer. So I think he got scared straight at some level on this. He realized that, continuing to attack Jerome Powell, continuing with this Chinese trade war at the current rate and not trying or not finding a way around it and a way around it soon was causing major, major problems, and it was only going to get worse. And so Donald Trump blinked. And I'm not criticizing him for that. I actually think it's okay to adjust based on external circumstances. I will say, though, two things. One, this is a guy who insists he's the greatest negotiator of all time. He never blinks. He always has the leverage. He always gets the best deal. I think twice in the last month on the reciprocal tariffs and now on China and the Fed chairman, we're seeing that's not the case. Number two, this was totally avoidable in that no one who was not in Donald Trump's inner circle would have thought that saying you're going to fire Jerome Powell, starting a trade war with China, and putting massive reciprocal tariffs on our trading partners was going to be a massive boom in the near term, maybe in the long term, but in the near term for the economy. That it was going to inject uncertainty into the economy. It was going to make people nervous about what's coming next, and that's exactly what it did. So it's kind of like, why did Trump do all this? What did he get? Trump allies will say, just wait until you see the deals he cuts. I'm open to that. Let's, I guess, see the deals he cuts. But I will say, for someone who said He is the greatest deal maker the world has ever known. He is going to cut only the best deals. He is now, on 2 occasions in these games of chicken he's playing with the global economy, turn the wheel rather than crashing. I'm pro turning the wheel and not crashing. But both times Donald Trump has given in amid external circumstances. And I think they'll never admit that because it doesn't go to sort of how he sees himself. But I do think it's telling that this is not a guy who's going to blindly pursue his agenda without considering the political and economic consequences. But if I'm a Republican, I would wish he had considered the political and economic consequences before the reciprocal tariffs and the trade war with China and the threats of firing Jerome Powell. Okay, I ask you to do one thing. Hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's easy. And that's the best thing in the world, things that are free and easy. All right, everyone, take care.